If you are anything like me and are just tired of hearing about the damn Diamondbacks B guy, here, welcome to the Go Show, celebrating all things outdoors in this beautiful outdoor playground of a state that we live in. And yesterday we went over at length the nonsense from Major League Baseball, the D-backs Dodgers game that was 2 hours delayed because a small swarm of bees, and swarm is just a technical thing. They weren't swarming anybody. That's just a technical name. And they brought in an exterminator to get rid of the bees. And then later, CBS Sports said that they, don't you worry about it. We just relocated those bees. Mm-hmm. I watched the D-backs Dodgers game last night. I had to mute it. I had to mute it. I couldn't deal with this. What's up, Lynn? I could not deal with it. Too much talk. Mark Grace pregame. The announcers during the game constantly talking about the dude from Blue Sky Pest Control that killed all the bees, and then claim that they relocated the bees. My girlfriend, several other people have tagged their posts, Major League Baseball's post, the Diamondbacks post, the Dodgers post, and say, okay, you said you relocated the bees. Where they at? Where at, bees? You going to tell us where you relocated them, how you relocated them? How'd you do that? That'd be interesting to me to find out how you did that. And then they here in Arizona, they replay D-backs games, win or lose. And last night they lost bigly. And so they don't you tell me seriously, Lynn. Fox News said it was a beekeeper. He's the branch manager of the Phoenix office of an exterminating company. He's not a beekeeper. He drove from Surprise at his son's T-ball game all the way out to the stadium. He is not a beekeeper. He wasn't out there tending to the bees. He was watching a T-ball game. That's absolutely absurd. It gets so much worse. It gets so much worse. And today, what's up, Eddie? And today we're going to talk about cooking game meat. We're going to talk about some really cool stuff, I promise. But I got to get an update on this because it's so absurd. It's just so absolutely blinding. The 5 I can't even right now. So and that's what it is. Fake news. I'm not going to get political, but come on. We just got to end this noise. Leave it to the Diamondbacks, who, by the way, I respect. I'm glad they made it to the World Series. I was actually rooting for them in the World Series. And I'm a Dodgers fan through and through. You guys just absolutely squashed us in the playoffs. And we deserve to lose those games. The D-backs outplayed us. Anyway, the fanfare around the D-backs is foreign to me because I was raised in baseball. I was raised around the Dodgers. The Dodgers, it's like Dodgers, Yankees, Cubs, Red Sox, like the OG teams. It's not the lead story on Channel 7, ABC News in Southern California is not, today the Dodgers did this. But here in Arizona, our top story, the D-backs participate in a parade. It's not the same thing. So I grew up with Vin Scully, God rest his soul, the greatest of all time, the GOAT, period. And if you don't know who Vin Scully is, here's what I want you to do. If you just love sport, if you love broadcasting, if you love hearing something really super cool, I want you to Google Vin Scully, Bumgarner, snake. Vin Scully, Bumgarner, the pitcher, snake. And you will watch how this man, there's no other person in the booth with him that ever was. It's just him. He will tell a story and weave Gibby's home run. Don't get me started, Eddie. Holy mackerel, I just got the chills head to toe. Woohoo! I got to hunt with Gibby. I got to hunt and play pool with Gibson. Oh, too much fun. So, and yes, he has Parkinson's, and yes, he still beat me playing pool. There were people around going, oh, it's so sweet. You let him win. He has Parkinson's. I'm like, nope. Gibby just took it to me. I'm telling you. So anyway, get back to this. So Vin Scully, Bumgarner, snake. The man weaves the story of Bumgarner and his wife in a rattlesnake and rabbits into the actual calling of the game. It is the most masterful, wonderful thing That or just put Vince Scully beards. He actually looked up the entire history of men wearing beards. It is fabulous. And in a few minutes of your time, well worth it. I promise you. This would never happen at Dodger Stadium. Would never happen at Dodger Stadium. A beekeeper would have been enlisted, period. And we always punk Southern California, but let me tell you something. They ain't going to go killing animals on TV. They're not going to, no matter what it is. So they would have had a beekeeper. And then they would have just gone back to the game. The next day, you wouldn't have seen this. And I got to show this to you. This is from the game last night. This is a promotion that they're running. I'm not kidding. It's going to leave it right there. That's actually a picture of my television when this was on there. Buy one, get one, free B. Valid May 3rd and 5th games. Use the code BGUY. Limited time only. Celebrating this jabroni. Now, he's probably a super sweet guy. I get it. But to call him a beekeeper is absolutely stupid. He's an exterminator. He is a branch manager of an extermination company. Then TMZ picked it up. NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt picked it up. Like Lynn said, Fox News picked this up. It's no bueno for what we do in our conservation world. It just isn't. It gets worse, guys. I'm just telling you, because TMZ picked it up and they were asking him. So they interviewed him. So are you got any offers coming up? Huh? You're a good looking guy. I'm sure people are beating down your door. What kind of weird world is that, by the way, right? Check this out. Ready? I'm not kidding. Here we go. From the game last night. There it is. Tops, at Tops. And for those that don't know, Tops, T-O-P-P-S, Tops is the Tops, Fleer, and Donruss were the dominating baseball card companies ever. This is from their Twitter account. Just in, we've signed a deal with Matt Hilton, bee specialist from last night's game. We're making autograph cards from his all-time great performance. What do you want me to do? Okay. Don't get me wrong. I don't think they're going to produce those things in mass. And being as I was at the game, I might buy one of the damn things. I ain't going to lie to you. Len, what do you mean tell the truth? Yeah, tell the truth about killing bees. I'm telling you that much. Holy mackerel. Can we get to this? Let's do this. Hey, thanks for hanging out. This is The Go Show, celebrating all things outdoors in this beautiful outdoor playground of a world that we live in, and including conservation. So I appreciate you hanging out here. This bee guy thing has got to go away. It has to go away. It's just, please. It was just the flavor of the day, and we can just move on from it. Anyway. Ron DeSantis, and I'm not getting political. I'm not. He is the governor of Florida. Like him or hate him, don't care. I'm not a huge fan. So, but when he does things like this, I'm like, okay, dude, I'm kind of down with this. Check this headline out because we're talking about cooking. This is why I'm bringing this up, gang. I promise it's not politics. Ron DeSantis signs ban on lab-grown meat in Florida. It says, take your fake lab-grown meat elsewhere. To the curb with you and your fake meat. I agree. I just do. I just think this is to all of us in the outdoor conservation world. This is an absolute abomination, and it just is. It is this lab grown meat. We don't need it in any way, shape, fashion, or form. Do we need it? But magically, we need it because all these chicken farms in cattle ranches are burning to the ground, and cattle are just dropping dead. I don't like it at all. That's why I'm proud of my outdoor ways. That's why I'm proud of our outdoor lifestyle. That's why I am proud of being an advocate for and a connoisseur of fine game meat, because it is so much wildly more healthy for you, and you know where it's from. There's no guesswork. There's no let me look at the back of my package from the butcher. It has this additive, that additive, nope. Mm-mm. It's just a white freezer package that came right from Casey's Processing up in Flagstaff. Or it's vacuum sealed because I processed it myself there. So this lab grown meat thing is just there's nothing good that can come of it. I'm telling you, if you want to know how awesome lab grown meat is, here's what I want you to do. I want you to look into how crab logs are made. Let's look for the video on how crab logs are made. You know, the imitation crab that you get, the crab sticks, not crab logs. I was thinking of zoo logs from our horse episode. No, I was thinking about the crab sticks. And the artificial crab you get in the packages and whatnot. Yeah, go look that up. And then you tell me you want lab-grown meat. And if that's your bag, that's totally okay. Cool. Right on. I choose not to throw those kind of things into my body. I think you wouldn't notice because of the whole dad bod thing I got rocking and rolling here. Yeah. Yeah. No. Game meat. No, we're not going to lab grow game meat. And by the way, they wouldn't. And let me tell you why. Because we're talking about cooking game meat today. And we're going to just talk about the things that you don't really want to do. But I want to tell you about this. Because if you say, I want healthy meat does not come from a lab. Period. It just doesn't. Name something healthy that comes from a lab. Go ahead. I mean, food-wise. Anything? Anybody? Yeah. Game meat it just is what it is. Now, you might get into like cloning and things like that, and cloning sheep and cloning deer and cloning elk and things like that. Maybe that's in the future. Who knows? But I'm going to take that thing out of the field and bring it to my freezer. Seriously. I will bring it to my freezer. Spam is not. Eddie, I'm going to put you on a damn timeout. No, spam is not good coming from a lab. No, spam is not good. Spam is not good for you. That's like saying hot dogs are good for you. They're not. They're not. Holy spam. Good grief. Are you from Hawaii? Man, it's like the national food there. Yeah, but no, I applaud at least DeSantis for saying, I appreciate that. I appreciate Ron DeSantis for at least taking a stand. I mean, just maybe slowing it a little, maybe pumping the brakes on making everything in a lab and what are these bug powder, these insect powder, these protein powders that are made of dried insects? Come on, kids. I mean, go ahead and eat a grasshopper then. If you're going to be that tough, you're going to be a cool guy. I like to put freeze-dried insects in my protein shakes because it adds 2 grams of protein per serving. Yeah, fine. Go eat a grasshopper. Go the way of Joe Rogan. Remember Joe Rogan, one of his first gigs? Fear Factor. Man, they were eating every kind of thing. Lynn, I got to look up the history of spam because if you say it's interesting, I'm definitely going to take a look at it. Let's get to cooking, shall we? Holy. All right, but good job, Ron DeSantis. Game meat is, and this is in kind of the Reader's Digest version of why game meat tastes the way game meat does. Game meat is gamey, right? And I say good. No, Mike, we got to get that game taste. You got to get that game. No, you don't. You're just chewing on protein at that point if you get that out. So if you are not eating pig, it should not taste like pork. If you are not eating steak, ground beef, shouldn't taste like cow. If you are eating fish, poultry, chicken, whatever it is, shouldn't taste like that because it's not that animal. Period. It's like, look, you can go to the store right now and find 80 different types of chocolate. It's all good. Chocolate's fantastic. But all chocolate is not supposed to taste like all of the chocolate. And I'm even talking about the mass-produced stuff. Does not taste like the actual thing. And how about this? This is something really cool. And I'm going to try not to butcher this. I'll show myself out. No, I can't. Why we call beef from a cow, we don't call it cow. We call it beef, right? And then we call chicken poultry. And we call lamb mutton. We call these things different names and not what they are. And that's weird because you call fish, right? Actually, chicken. So you don't call poultry. Chicken. Yeah, but you don't call, you call the things by different names. Call elk. Deer's venison, different name. Isn't that weird? Yeah. It actually came down to socioeconomics. The higher classes that were affording those kinds of things, you don't call beef cow. I'm eating cow tonight. You say I'm eating beef tonight. That's a higher society kind of gig. You say chicken, everybody had chicken. So you're eating chicken. You're eating lobster. Lobster, by the way, was actually known as the chicken of the sea. It really was. No. Poor man's chicken. That's what I'm not talking. Not jelly tuna. No, I'm talking about lobster. Lobster was actually known as the poor man's chicken because lobster was so abundant when this nation was founded. Lobster was everywhere. They're serving lobster. You're in jail. You're getting lapsed, right? Now you want the chicken or lobster? I'm like, dude, I want the lobster. What's giving? Are you serious? We can just have this. Just keep going. I'm in. I love me some lobster. Anyway, the reason why, and I don't know if you've ever thought of this before, but the reason why every piece of steak you get at the store or a restaurant tastes relatively the same. Now, I mean, they're cooked in different styles, and I totally get that. But let's just stick with the butcher of the store. All of that is the same. Chicken tastes all the same. Pork tastes all the same. The reason why is the uniformity of processing that animal. So a cow is out in the field for a certain amount of days. A cow is being processed for a certain amount of, being prepared, prepped, finished is what they call it. Remember, grass finished beef. Yeah, they're being finished for a certain amount of time. And then they're all processed on the same day. No, and I don't know what day it is. Maybe it's day 750 of a cow's life. But if that's the day, all cows are processed on their 750th day. Everything, and they're processed the same way. They're fed the same food. They're finished the same way. Everything's the same. That's why it all tastes the same. Same for piggies, same for chickens. Same. That's why it's uniformity. You're not like, oh, I really got a bad batch of pork chops the other day. No, it tastes like pork chops. Oh, I bought a package of New York strip steaks from Fry's, and it tastes different. No, it doesn't. Taste exactly. You don't go through it because it tastes exactly the same. That's why with game meat, it just becomes a mind shift. It's just a different way of looking at things when you say somebody's going to serve elk, or somebody's going to serve venison, a wild hog. That most likely will taste different than the last elk or venison that you had, because it's probably from a different part of the state, different part of the nation. It is probably a different age. It ate different things, and it just tastes different. So gamey is such a bad word. It's almost as bad as the P word, which is poaching on this show. It's a bad word. Gamey is a bad word. It just is. My girlfriend's family stopped asking me what animal they're eating. They just assume that it's probably bison, it's probably pheasant, they just stopped. They're saying, "Ooh, this is good." And that takes a lot of conditioning. Yeah. And Jim, no, nobody loves spam. Nobody loves spam. You might have a bite of a spamwich right now and go, oh, that's so good. Or maybe fry up some spam and say, that's so good. It's not good. It's just reminding you of your childhood. Period. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, Lynn, that's right. There used to be 4 types of chicken. Zixie's not now. Everything is the same in uniform. So everything outside of that is labeled as gamey. So I'm going to encourage you, and this is just me again, y'all. This is the most kickback, laid back outdoor show you're going to ever find, because I don't care how you cook things. I really don't. I'm just kind of giving you some advice and maybe some suggestions that you might want to try. But I want you to, and I think it's important to really hear these words. And I want you to repeat after me. Okay? Repeat after me. We don't have to fry everything. You don't have to deep fry everything. And the second thing that I want you to repeat after me with, thou shalt not wrap everything in bacon. There you go. I've said it. Those are the two biggest pillars. The third is just put the marinades away. Just put the marinades away for a bit. If you put the marinades away and you actually let the actual protein taste like what that protein is supposed to taste like, then you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to, this marinade, what are you having? Again, it's like over seasoning something or deep frying something. You're tasting the seasoning, the batter. You're not actually tasting the protein itself. So those are kind of the big rules of the game. Those are kind of how we'll move forward in what I'm saying. All right. And just don't get me wrong. I love and I will actually deep fry as many things as I can possibly deep fry. I love it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with deep frying anything. No, 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 Eddie. We're gonna get to seasoning. Don't you worry. No, I will deep fry the tar at things. I will wrap things in bacon. I will do that all day long. Marinades I stay away from. I like to stay away from marinades. A brine, maybe with pheasant and duck. Brines are fantastic. Brines basically just salt water. It just keeps things really, really juicy and really, really nice. It doesn't take away from the flavor, so a lot of the flavor of the actual protein itself. And again, these are just the basics. And tonight, I'm going to be cooking wild boar bratwurst. Stop boiling them. Stop boiling things. I don't understand why. I really don't get why people are boiling bratwurst. Why do you boil bratwurst? Why? Get it on the grill. Cook it. Yeah. Because when you boil it, what happens is all that fat renders down and all the seasonings and this, it basically escapes the packaging and it's just left in your pot. No, oh, no, I like to cook mine in beer. Okay, I get that. I like to cook mine in beer and onions. I get that as well. But here's a piece of advice. Again, not telling you what to do. Give me a nice suggestion for this. How about you just when you have your bratwurst, just crack open a beer then? There you go. Now you're having beer and brats. And if you like those onions so much, grill some up and throw them on the bun with it. To change the world. You see, somebody actually went through the process of making that bratwurst. And they did it right. And they to their specifications and their taste level. They're like, why would people jack with this? I don't know. It's like the beer world. It's like people when they put oranges and limes and stuff in beer. I just don't. Nope. I'm a member of the NFL. No freaking lime. Yeah, that's right. See, brine and smoked pork. When brining pork is a fantastic idea too. I think I'm going to do some pork tenderloin this weekend too. Idea absolutely. But yeah, the brining is important. I think the brining in those white meats are important. But as far as the marinade goes, you're just not really giving any any thought to how that meat was actually supposed to taste. So those are the pillars. Now, don't know no way I'm going to tell you to stop seasoning. There's no way in the world. You see, I'm telling you, and if you go to slavosalt.com and use the code GOSHOW, you get 10% off your order. And this stuff right here, this stuff is what I use, period. You can use anything you want. You can use all the other kind of rubs that are out there, the other kind of seasonings that are out there. This has three ingredients in it. 3, that's it. Okay. And it's kosher salt, black pepper, and garlic. And that garlic is set in here in 3 different phases of roasting. And Slavo actually roasts his own garlic. This isn't stuff that he just buy it in bulk, a 50-pound bag of garlic, and just throws it in there with some salt and pepper and calls it a seasoning. It's roasted by him. By the way, local company and 100% money back guarantee. And if Slavo, if you're watching this, buddy, you see my problem here? I have a problem here, champ. See. Nope. Nope. Out. I'm empty. I'm on E. I'm on. So I gotta fix that. Get over to slavosalt.com. Use the code GOSHOW. But there's spicy and a garlic. I don't even over rub things. I love a good crust on the meat, but I don't like a crust that again takes away from what I'm eating. So if I have an elk backstrap, damn it, I want it to taste like an elk backstrap. That's the good part of it. Not like, oh man, just as long as that crust is in there. No. I want it to taste like that. And you think about it too. I mean, those of us that hunt, it is definitely check out Slavo. Meat Church is fantastic. Meat Church puts up some really good seasoning. But the reason why I like Slavo's is basic. We're not jacking around. There's not like brown sugar and stuff in it and all a bunch of garbage and colorings and all this. This is just as simple as I put this on. You put this on movie popcorn, it'll change your world. I put it on everything. I'm telling you. The Slavo I have it in a grinder, one of the turnover things into the little auto grinders. Yeah, but I throw that in the grinder, so it's just to get a little seasoning. Oh, mashed potatoes, forget about it. So good, so good. But yes, but I even the crust. So salt and pepper, like Lynn said, salt and pepper is just fine. Salt and pepper is great to cook with. Salt and pepper is actually what we're supposed to. Salt's actually a preservative. So when people's like, oh no, I like the lower sodium stuff. No, your body's made of salt water. This is kind of a hint for you. So it's okay. It's okay to take. It's okay to take that in. It's funny. My doctor said she wanted some bison, and I said yeah. Next time I come, I'll bring you a couple packages of some ground bison. She goes, what kind of ground? I said 80-20. And that means 80% beef, 20% fat. And so in the bison, when you process the bison and process venison, process elk, there's almost no fat in it. So beef fat, cow fat is in basically incorporated into it at the ratio of 80-20. She said, this is my doctor. She goes, next time try 70-30. It'll change your world. I said, you're trying to get me to eat more fat? She said, yes, I am. And look at me. I'm overweight. I just downloaded an app today that said I'm overweight. Because I do that intermittent fasting thing. No lie. It said, you are overweight. And I'm like, you son of a why did I even choose you? I don't know why I chose you as a app. Canceling that right away. Call me. Yeah, how about that? Okay, here, sign up for $100 for the year for our app. And you're fat. Nope. I'm not gonna pay me. I can go take a shower. I have enough mirrors in my bathroom to know that. No way in hell you're gonna have to tell me I'm fat. Oh man. Let's get to fish if we could. And again, Slavo spicy on fish is just absolutely absurd. Don't overcook. I know people like well done. I know people like medium well, and that's fine. And then we grow up and grow taste buds, and we think, okay, well, that's actually horrible. I'm just going to chew on my shoe if I want to do that. Fish is important. One of the best pieces of advice I ever gotten on cooking fish is very simple. Say people have been eating raw fish for tens of thousands of years. Don't overcook it. Yeah. You don't undercook it, right? You're not gonna undercook. You're not gonna. I undercooked this fish. No, you didn't. It's sure as hell better than overcooking it. And again, there's people that say, you got to cook things inside, cast iron, grow up, stop being a redneck, stop cooking everything on the grill. There's absolutely nothing in my world, but there's nothing in my kitchen. I have a pretty extensive kitchen. There's nothing in my kitchen that's better than the grill. There just isn't. My buddy Tequila Jimmy always says, any game meat needs to be cooked over flame like God intended it. Agreed. So start small. This is the last piece of advice to give you on cooking game meat. Start small. Don't go all in and just go, Grizz, what's up? A little late to the game, champ. Come on, man. No, my good to see you here, buddy. I've been talking about game meat and in cooking game meat, and the pills are very simple. Do not deep fry everything. Do not wrap everything in bacon, and just stay away from the marinades. I think if you do that, you're going to introduce yourself to a whole new world of cooking, a whole new world of flavor, whole new world of taste, and life's going to be better for you. I can almost assure you that. And the basics too, like macaroni and cheese. You're going to put some. By the way, yeah, Lynn did clarify that the applesauce is not cooked into the mac and cheese. So I appreciate him clarifying that. But you just try like lasagna. Try a bison lasagna. Try a Watusi lasagna. Try instead of having tacos for the weekend, do some wild game pulled pork, that kind of thing. Just start to incorporate that in just your normal rotation, your normal protein rotation, and it's not as drastic as you might think. Like, okay, everybody, we're gonna eat a bison steak tonight, and people it's kind of intimidating, right? So just start incorporating the smaller stuff, especially the ground meat, and the stew meats, especially the stew meats. You're gonna make chili. Make a stew, things like that, spaghetti, get things in there, incorporate those types of game meat in there, and it's not as not as intimidating. Salmon, I'm telling you, man, plank salmon. And for those of you that don't know what plank salmon is taking a nice salmon fillet, and it goes on a cedar plank, and that cedar plank is soaked in water before putting it on the grill. So you put the plank on the grill, then you put the salmon on top. It basically just steams it and grills it at the same time. It is just making want to smack your mama. I'm telling you. For risotto, that'd be an interesting thing. I mean, let me get back to you on that one. Yeah. All purpose. The OG and the garlic. I'm telling you, buddy, you're not gonna be disappointed, Eddie. I tell you, not gonna be disappointed. So back. I gotta stop talking to y'all. Like I say, so those are the basics. The basics are just stay away from the marinades. Don't wrap everything in bacon. Don't deep fry everything. If you're gonna wrap something in bacon, let me help you out with this. It goes all the way back to like Dove poppers to anything essentially as you're gonna wrap in bacon. I actually saw a really cool recipe the other day. Guy took half a pickle jar full of pickle juice, put jalapenos, chicken strips down there, and some Frank's Red Hot, and let that thing sit overnight. And then he wrapped it in bacon. He wrapped it one strip of chicken, one strip of pickle, and then and jalapeno, and then wrapped it in bacon. But here's the problem. This is what I saw right away. This is one of the biggest mistakes. I'll help y'all out with this. Whether it's chicken, whether it's game meat, whatever it is, you need to pre-cook your bacon. So you need to get your bacon almost too done. So you get it in the oven and get it to right where it's about to. It's just thinking about getting crispy, right? It's just the edges might be a little bit hard, and you're like, okay, this is where we want to be. Let those cool, then wrap them up. Because see what happens a lot. What happens many times is that you're trying to cook the bacon and you want your bacon cooked. You want it crispy on the grill. So what's happening inside is that protein that you have inside, whether it's chicken, game meat, whatever it is turning into leather. It's turning into shoe leather. It's yeah. Whether it's I actually saw a guy do that with shrimp. I was like, you wrapping raw bacon around shrimp. That shrimp is going to be as tough as nails. Nobody's going to want to eat that shrimp. Well, actually, everyone's going to want to eat the shrimp because it's wrapped in bacon. But it'll change your world if you pre-cook your bacon. Some even I know this sounds sacrilegious, but I'm telling you, maybe a turkey bacon, less overpowering, so you can still taste the game meat inside. Yep, and a very thin bacon. Don't go with the thick cut bacon. I'm telling you, it'll change your whole world. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was definitely a problem. Overcooking game meat is so easy to do, and probably the number one the number one mistake that's made. So yeah, hope you learn just the basics. The basics. We can go through some advanced stuff. We can have Slavo. Slavo's actually an executive chef. We'd love to have him on to talk about cooking game meat. He probably made the best elk backstraps I've ever had for my girlfriend and I. It was absolutely fantastic. I don't even know what the thing is. It was a tomato and cheese thing. Caprese? Something like that. Yeah. Never had it before. It's fantastic. Yeah, with elk backstraps. I'm like, check us out. Going high society in this thing. Slava done come up like 7 of them. All right. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us. And yes, let's just stay away from that bee knucklehead that is not a beekeeper. He's an exterminator. All right. And tomorrow we're gonna have a lot of fun. Tomorrow I've been pulling a lot of really funny videos about petting those furry cows, right? Yeah. People like to pet nature. It doesn't go well. That's what we're going to have tomorrow right here on the Go Show. Have a great day, everybody.